Morning, guys. I'm at Alicante Airport. I have got my mask just in case anybody wants to have a moan. There's nobody near me for at least 30 feet, if not more. It's actually good. I don't know if you can see. Let me stand up. There's a lot more planes appearing. There's a fire engine going past. That was perfect timing, wasn't it? I'm finding when I arrived the other day that there's probably about 12 aircraft. It was very, very busy. So, with the COVID experience, I think things are returning to some normality. There's Ryanair taking off. Yeah. Should be doing that in about 20 minutes. Alright, an hour. There's been a few questions about some of this stuff. Somebody mentioned about prices may go up this year. I don't think they will. One of the key things is like we're right now. I think they've increased theirs. What's it, about 116, 120% compared to just before COVID. So their expectation is going to be higher, not less. Also, I think they're still subsidising some of the costs because they're trying to get it back to the same levels, and it will get there. One of the key things is I think a lot more people have had COVID now. Pretty much everybody I speak to lately seems to have had it. Things seem to be opening up. I see France is reducing some of its COVID passport stuff. UK's obviously abandoned everything since, seems to reduce every time Boris has a scandal. So that seems to be progressively improving. So I do think the situation's improving. A few people have asked about the Ukraine stuff, and I'm trying not to get too involved on it because a lot of the politics are on the surface. It's all good, bad, and that's it. There's not the bits in the middle which often are the real reasons these things escalate in the first place. So I'll leave that to the politicians. I have got friends from Russia and Ukraine, and one thing I will say is it's neither their fault. Their responsibility to it is as much as me controlling Boris. These guys are just getting on with their lives, and I think it's a bit unfair and unreasonable that some people may end up getting targeted for something they have no input on, don't agree with, etc. So let's leave that at that. Just have to wait for this. Sus vuelos pueden sufrir cambios. Por la megafonía de este aeropuerto no se realizan llamadas de emergencia. Yes, I'm paying attention. Yes. Okay, fine. Oh, by the way, if you go right to the top corner near gate B18, they've got these comfy chairs. It's good that people just dump all their crap here, because obviously they think they're in a hotel or something. Bloody animals. But yeah, a couple of other things. The way Spain is treating people has changed. Before, when your visa is your 90 days expired type thing, they weren't too critical on it. But I think thanks to all those that don't bother and haven't bothered for, say, 20 years, they're now sending people back to the UK to process at their local embassy or consulate. Do I agree with it? To be honest, not if you've just purchased here. I do think the real estate agents should have some moral obligation, but we are talking real estate agents, to inform people. The government should sort of say, look, if you rent a house, sell a house, whatever, can you just shove this bit of paper in that says, here's the website details, you must register, you must do this, you must do that, just to give people a fighting chance, because obviously pre-Brexit, Spain wasn't really rushing you around. It was like, I mean, like myself, when I tried to process it, they misbooked my appointment, then said, because I was going to the UK the following day, and they says, "Oh, just do it when you come back." No sense of urgency whatsoever. Now they'll send you back to the UK and say you need to do it at the consulate before you arrive. So bear that in mind. And that's, if you want to retire here, etc., you've got to go through the motions of immigration. Do I agree, disagree? Do you know what? I've dealt with the UK government, which is I'll say the most painful out of any I've dealt with. I've dealt with the US Embassy, Philippines Embassy, I've dealt with issues in Qatar, Oman, Dubai, and the UK tops it as the most painful and arrogant and bureaucratic out the lot. So I'm on Spain's side on this one, because quite simply a lot of these guys have had plenty of time, have been encouraged, there's even been seminars on how to do all this stuff, and just haven't bothered. So they can't then whinge if they say, right, I know you've been here 12 years, you haven't registered as a resident, you haven't registered in any form, but you want to use our medical cover, you want to live here, you're going to have to go back to the UK and do your paperwork, because you obviously couldn't be bothered to fill it in while you were here. On to the next subject. So be aware that that 90-day expiry period could put you at risk. The next one was someone was asking about the schools in autism. They do an assessment here because they want to understand if the kids need to go to a special school, or they can mainstream, or whether it's a mix of the two. I think when we first arrived, it was about €110. I think we had it done in Elche, because I think you have to have it done private, or it might be we had to get it private because we weren't in the system yet, and obviously they want you to pay taxes and everything first. But basically that would then give you your starting point, because the schools want that certificate or report. They also, when you go to the saludes, which are like the local clinics, they do a health checkup as well on the children. They normally want that as well. You need to go through the process of your NIE, your Padron, registering for going on the school list. It's a points-based system on where you live, your children's needs. Like I say, the kids are special needs, something they get more points. If the kids are great at sports in the sense of recognised for being a under 21s football player, there's extra points for that type of thing, because they get extra funding for these different things. So the starting point, I would say, is actually speak to the school and ask what paperwork they need, and they normally have a sheet. And don't get me wrong, I'd put a couple of days aside at least to go through and get them all. The NIE, I think now, is booking online, where before you used to just go down and book an appointment. I think a lot of the stuff is now online. My information is a little bit out of date now, because obviously we've already been through that. We're already residents here in Spain. We're actually going through the next level of this, which is actually renewing all our stuff. So it's like my residency card. I'm going from the green one to the new, I think it's the new one's got the photograph, which I've got to pick up next week. So we're already gone through a lot of these hoops, and things do change quite regularly. I mean, the bars on the beach were a prime example, where there was a change of government, so the permits were issued by the last government, so the new government hadn't issued new ones, but the last government wasn't valid, even though it's the same area. Welcome to bureaucracy. So I would say do your research. I would say the information's probably better going into a school than just asking on the reception. If you don't speak Spanish, do take somebody along who does speak Spanish, and they'll be able to help you. That's the easiest way of doing it, because different areas may have different requirements, because there's a lot of local authority control in Spain. beyond that, I don't think anybody's asked any other specific questions, so I'll cut the video off there. Just get ready for my flight, so catch you guys later.